the realization is, when I first got started, I didn't necessarily see a lot of, women directors around me in 2011. I'd meet them at, film festivals and things like that. But to know that there are like probably thousands of women identified directors around the country is pretty cool, and that they're organized and they're helping each other. And that's what's really exciting about these times. And then you have people like yourself who are helping actors with the resources and tools that they need. So it's an exciting time.
Anything you want to say to the camera?
I'm just like about to kill it.
All right. Good luck. From a director standpoint, what is something that will really turn you on when an actor comes in to audition, and what is something that will really turn you off?
So I think the things in general, because I'm an actor, and I remember I skipped a little step about, I didn't just like magically become a director out of nowhere. One of my survival jobs as an actor was working for a casting director. So I was an associate casting director for quite a while. And I think as an actor, I have compassion for what that experience is like, and even, in the past couple of years since COVID, I've even been asked to submit self-tapes of my own, which has helped me have some serious compassion and appreciation, knowing that when I see an actor's, 3-minute tape, that this person might have rearranged all the furniture in their house, did a full set of makeup and hair, and figured out what they're going to wear and learn the material, and took the time to show up, so I'm someone who really respects and appreciates that, and doesn't take it lightly that it's, reasonable to ask 100 or 200 people to rearrange the furniture in their house and record an audition.
But yeah, I do appreciate that, because I don't think that people really know how much it takes, to do that kind of thing. They just see, that 3 minutes, and okay. No, it takes a lot.
You could have put 8 hours into that 3 minutes for all I know. So for me, I think I generally, at least this is what I was taught when I was first starting out in, taking casting director workshops or working in the theater, that it is true that the casting director, the director, whoever's involved in the casting situation, like, we are rooting for you. We're hoping that you will be what we're looking for. So yes, I have been on the other side of things and walked into really uncomfortable, unpleasant situations where a casting director shouldn't act like I was doing them a favor by showing up, or people have, this attitude that I think is unnecessary and inappropriate when people are disrespectful to actors or not appreciative of their time. But I generally, and I feel like the people that I gravitate to and work with have that same sort of approach, that we're really hoping for the best and we want an actor to do a great job. And I'll even go so far. There's been times where, at least in the past couple of years, when people are doing their own self-tapes, where if I see something that I really like, but want to see more, I'll reach out to an actor, in an attempt to help them get the job, because maybe there was something in their audition that really excited me, but there's other people on the team, who also need to be in agreement with me that this is the direction to go. So I will often, if it's doable, I'll take that extra step and ask for a redirect or ask for something more. I'll even go so far as look at people's Instagrams or look for other, look at their reels on their profile, but also try to confirm, what my gut is telling me, that this person could play a role. So I think the question you ask, though, is like, what turns me on? What helps me know that this is the right fit? It's just, it's something that happens where, oh, they're interesting looking, because it's a visual medium. So it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
really like the way this person looks.
Mhm.
I feel like they're this character. I feel like they're connected to the text or whatever it is. They understand how to act through subtext. And with film and television, it's very different than theater because not that you have a ton of time in theater, but you have a little more time in theater to develop and coach an actor to the performance that you're looking for.
I see.
Whereas with film and TV, they have to show up on set as the character ready to go. We don't have time to warm up and do, exercises and give homework. It's your action and you're doing the role. I think things that turn me off, I think it's really, I don't know that I have an answer for that because I just have so much compassion for actors and how hard it is and how much gumption and courage it takes to put yourself out there. So, I'm sure there are casting directors and people who, oh, my pet peeves are when actors do this or that. But I think, some are just probably pragmatic things like if you make it really hard for me to find you. I'm not saying you have to be like an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, person, where you just have an immense following or something. But if I'm in a situation where I really like you or I like your performance, but there's something that's maybe there's another person who's as good a fit possibly for the role, but there's something intuitive about you that I'm really excited about and want to be able to convince everyone else that this is the way to go, but I have no means of finding you or contacting you, or I'm very limited in your digital footprint to kind of do that research on my own and then share it with producers or share it with someone. So it's not that it's not really a turnoff, but it's like you're gonna have a better chance of getting the job if you exist. You don't have to be famous. But when I see, I get to, this person has, some depth and something interesting about them going on, or they're involved in something, it helps me better understand you in a way that the 3-minute video and your resume don't really help me paint the picture. And so that being said, though, it's like, I remember when, I was being warned, like, the internet's forever, be mindful of what you put on your social media. To a certain extent, that's kind of true. But it's really about like knowing your brand. So if I'm looking for something very wholesome and I have to convince, maybe it's for a family friendly show or something.
Right. Yeah.
And you're a whole adult living your whole adult life, expressing yourself and enjoying your freedom of speech as you should, on your social media. But the client that I'm, delivering this project for, has a very specific audience of children, and that may not be a fit. It's not a criticism of somebody,
Right.
living their best life and doing them. But it's like, if I go to your Instagram and it's a children's show and your content isn't very child friendly and your brand isn't, it's not a turnoff for me that you know who you are, but it's just recognizing that in that case, you want to see if you can find projects that align with all of who you are. It doesn't mean that you aren't a great person or wouldn't have a great, children's show or whatever, but those things make it a little bit harder for me and make it more of a stretch to convince a client that,
So having a web presence is important to an extent, and be careful about your brand.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
an audition, and after the audition, then I mean, it was like a snowball. Things just took off really fast. Shortly after, it was preparing for the night before Christmas.
And you also recently did a national spot for the NCAA during the Final Four, and many people said they saw you on a commercial.
Yes,
Can you
I'm
talk a
really-
little bit about that?
I'm proud of that too, and actually I got that through information that you presented, so you have a lot of things that I'm really happy to know with your wealth of experience and background and contacts as well, so thank you for that.